All right, I think we are live. Welcome back to cryptofront. This is the front line where we are fighting together side by side for financial freedom. We want to be talking about what exactly is happening in the market right at this point. I think, man, things are pumping. This is exactly what we had anticipated. If we were here back in June, July, and August, you know how bad this market was, especially September and stuff like that. But ever since, I think we've had a fantastic run and we're beginning to see exactly the things that we had been anticipating to see, meaning the price action has just been pushing towards the upside. We're seeing things like Altcoin, for example. Look at this one. I mean, in the last few weeks, up something like 364%. That's really great. Even like old projects like the over the reality metaverse projects, we're also seeing that they are having some strong pushes towards the upside, up 100 and something percent. The best that I'm really excited about, of course, is outage state machine, and we are seeing that. Yeah, I was posting this one to Patreon members earlier in the year, right around June, and we are seeing also great ones over 300 and something percent, not to mention things like XRP, not to mention things like Cardano, Dogecoin, and a whole bunch of different things. But what if I told you that, you know what? Yeah, all these things are happening right now, but the best is yet to come. You probably won't believe me, right? But that's the reality and the nature of this market. It pumps like it's nobody's business, and also when it dumps, it also really dumps like it's nobody's business. So be prepared for both scenarios as well, and make sure that you are taking profits in this bull cycle. So the structure of this live stream is going to be the fact that I go ahead and talk about the things that I want to talk about first, and then you guys go ahead in the chat box. We talk about the things that you want to be talking about, right? The charts that you want us to take a look at, and then like that, we'll probably conclude, right? So let me start here with one that is maybe not popular. This is RV and lending protocol. I expect RV here to go to something like $1,064, like this bull cycle, right? We bought this one earlier in February, and I think we bought it right around 98, $80, right around that level. And we were looking for something like a 10x. I think eventually we will be able to get right there. I'm still holding my RV pretty much strongly, and I don't intend on selling them. Right. The next thing that I want to talk about real quick is, but I I made a video on it earlier on, is Jasmine. I know that most of you here are subscribed to the channel because of the Jasmine technical analysis that we do every now and then. So I'm sure that you have also seen that a lot of people are talking about this cup and handle formation. And I think, yeah, it's something that just indicates that Jasmine is very much bullish. Something like 62 cents here is the price target. I think it's reasonable. Yeah, as I was saying just earlier on, that this market, when it decides really to push towards the upside, nothing is rushed now. There just happens to be irrational exuberance in the market. Now, can you believe it? Somebody's going to be buying Jasmine for the very first time at 20 cents. You were buying it at 2 cents the other day. You were even buying it like way less than a cent back here in October 2023. So yeah, there's a lot of like irrational exuberance that's going to be happening in this market, and I think everything is simply just going to be pumping, right? Now, short term here with Jasmine, let me show you a chart that is a little bit much more cleaner. Is that we were seeing like massive volume candles. I mean, take a look at these candles from Mexi. This is insane. Jasmine in its entire lifetime, I don't think it has ever had any of this volume. And I mean, take a look at this trend. The trend is really your friend right in the situation. Take a look at this. You've got this massive volume candle, massive, and they keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger for Jasmine. So a big move is coming for Jasmine in the immediate short term, and I'm not really sure that Jasmine will fail to get above something like 4.5 cents. I think it's almost a guarantee right at this one. But this is the way I think about those things, and nobody else has to think the same way I'm thinking. Right? So I've been showing you structures every now and then that show that Jasmine could literally be headed to that 4.5 cents. For example, this is the structure that I've been showing you over the last month. And, a lot of people have said what they have said. When we were down here, maybe at 1.6 cents, they were saying that, what is going to go to the downside. Take a look at where we are. We are up more than, 100% or something like that. So Jasmine is looking great. The next stop here that I'm seeing is something like 4.5 cents. But these things can happen very, very much fast here for Jasmine. So that's just me. Let's quickly take a look at our other favorite. This is ICP, Internet Computer Protocol. And before I forget here, ICP, Internet Computer Protocol. Let's see here the chart from Binance. And yeah, that was also showing some great things, because you know what, we are trading above the resistance level right now. We have had a minor work of accumulation pattern. And it's looking, yeah, it's just trying to catch a break right in the zone right around $11, between $10.50 and $11.50 right there. Catch a break, and then from there you have a very crazy move towards the upside, because what has happened is that most of these things that have been market leaders have gone on to take the highs that they were having back in March earlier this year, right? So a huge move is also anticipated here for ICP, and I think that's going to be even much more possible, since we are seeing that Ethereum is now beginning to break above all of its retracement levels and stuff like that. So let me show you the Ethereum chart one more time, and I think you have to understand that Ethereum is the leader of altcoins, but it has the capability to take away a lot of dominance from the Bitcoin price. So once that happens, be rest assured that like a lot of your altcoins are also going to be pumping and benefiting from the Ethereum pump. And it's also very much basic knowledge that when Ethereum is pumping, it also has got a lot of related tokens, right? A lot of things are built on Ethereum, either to help Ethereum or to compete against Ethereum. So the narrative of Ethereum is just beneficial for everything in this market. Like as an example, we think that ICP can potentially be an Ethereum killer. So when Ethereum pumps, ICP is expected to do better than Ethereum. It also probably pumps, right? Things like Solana will also benefit from that, and a whole bunch of stuff, and projects which are built on Ethereum as well, which just do well, and there are actually a lot of them, things like Arbitrum, for example, and stuff like that. So you can see here that we're challenging the very last Fibonacci retracement level right around $3,700 for Ethereum. Yeah, a huge move is expected here to take out the highs that we were having in March. And once we do something like that, take a look at this amazing pattern that Ethereum would have created, right? So it's just a matter of breaking this resistance here. I think things are very, very much getting closer and closer to be getting super, super exciting. So that's it for ICP. Actually, we wanted to talk about ICP, but we ended up talking about Ethereum. Now, the next one that I want to take a look at, and I talk, about every now and then, is XRP. And let me quickly show you here. Yeah, with XRP, we are seeing that I think it's also just catching a break with the rest of the market. You can see here the last 4 days, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days. It's been just retracement levels, right? So it's also trying to catch a break. Yeah, usually you get, rejections higher in those retracement levels by around $8.50, but the way in which we are getting that resistance is what actually makes me optimistic, because it's not like a clear rejection. It's just like, it's trying to build more momentum, and it looks like it's going to be pushing even higher. I was also even seeing XLM was just performing a similar move right there, like the one that we were seeing from XRP as well. So most of these things right at this point are trying to catch a break. There is a lot of tech profit that is happening in BTC, and it's flowing back into altcoins. With XRP, we have been talking about this ever since maybe February or something like that. I even have a trade open that we took right around 48 cents. I still haven't closed that one, although I haven't shown it to a lot of people, but Patreon members know exactly what we did back then. In March, we opened a trade for XRP. Even in June, we had another trade that we were adding to that. So this is exactly what we anticipate the XRP price to do, to reach something like $5.20. That's the minimum. And then if this market really gets heated, we are looking at XRP right around $13.60. I know that a lot of people will be like, at that point it will be close to $1 trillion and this and that and this and that. Why shouldn't it get to it? That will be something like actually $700 and something billion for XRP alone. It can do that. Why shouldn't it do something like that? All right, no problem. Let's move on to the next one, SUI, which is also one that we talk about on the channel every now and then. So it has actually also kind of been quiet because it had a huge run, and a lot of people, I think, are taking profits and getting into other different projects. But I think that ultimately here with SUI, the minimum that we can get to is somewhere around $7.80. But as you can see already, it's something like only 140% pump. Is it the only thing that it can do this bull cycle? Definitely not. When all has been said and done, I expect SUI to reach something like $32 for this bull cycle. So in terms of like returns, we are looking at somewhere around 9.2x or something like that. Not really all that great, considering that in this market we are spoiled and we are always looking for the 50x, for the 20x's and stuff like that. Even 10x is not good enough for us, right? But I think SUI is one that is just going to be doing well in this market. I just wanted to show you some of the things that have been happening with SUI here. Let me go maybe to the main page of CoinMarketCap and show you that the competitors that it's having are not doing all that great, to be honest with you, because they are not yet in price discovery, and there's just a big advantage if you're in price discovery, right? So let's get back here. This is Sui on number 18, and you can see Bitcoin Cash well below its previous all-time high, Chainlink well below, Polkadot way below, Stellar Lumens way below, Shiba Inu, I think, yeah, it's also well below. So I think it's easier for Sui to come back and reach into the top 10 right there, maybe where Avalanche is or something like that. But when that really happens, remember, we are looking for euphoria to hit the market. Eventually, new people are going to be coming to the market, and they're going to be introduced first to the top 10 of this. And obviously, Tether and USDC are not, actual cryptocurrencies. So people would have to be buying things like Cardano, XRP, and stuff like that, and they'll pump even way harder. All right. What other thing did I want to talk about? I wanted to talk about Outstate Machine, but I think I've already done that. Oh, Vivacity, yeah. So let's quickly take a look at Vivacity, because I think it also has got a fantastic future, right? Great community, unique project. It doesn't have as many competitors as other projects have. So with Vivacity, I think generally speaking, it's forming a very big wake of accumulation pattern, the ones that we have seen like Cardano have in the last bull cycle. And I think because of that, it can go ahead and do its 1.61 Fibonacci extension level, that is right around 13.6 cents, which means from where it's sitting right now, I was even making a post earlier on, I think something like a 20x is even something that is very, very much possible, right? So I'm going to be getting to the chart real soon. If you've got any questions that you want us to take a look at, or any altcoin that you want us to take a look at, feel free, just go ahead in the chat box, and we will be able to look at your chat real quick. Now, before I get into the chat box, whilst you're preparing the chart that you want us to take a look at, I also wanted to show you ZK Sync, right? I think this is a powerful blockchain. A lot of people may not favor it because, they didn't get many coins during the airdrop, but I think this is looking like it's just a perfect another wake of accumulation pattern. You may be surprised that I call this a wake of accumulation pattern, but yeah, they're just three different variations of this wake of accumulation patterns, and this is actually one of them. It usually turns out to be great. If I am to show you a quick example, yeah, maybe we would have to be going back to Ethereum or whatever the case may be, but if you've been following me on X, you know that over the last few weeks I've been buying ZK Sync, especially right around this level here of 1.5 cents, looking for it to get back to 24 cents and essentially get into price discovery. It's a new project, and I know that in a bull cycle, new projects just happen to do well. The blockchain is actually very much competitive, right? So that is the case. It's still outside of the top 100, meaning that by the time it gets to number 20 something, I mean, it would have actually covered a lot of ground, and it would have moved very much bigly, right? What was the other one that I wanted to take a look at? Oh yeah, maybe Arweave. Wanted to take a look at Arweave. It's looking like it has got a fantastic setup right there, the likes of which, okay, let me close this because I opened a trade earlier on, and Patreon members will not be too happy because I'm sharing it here for free, right? So this is Arweave, and what we are seeing here with Arweave, if I should just go ahead and clear everything here, is a structure that we have seen a lot time and again in this market, right? Just for reference sake, let me show you, maybe we can compare it to what Sui was doing recently. Yeah? So just bear with me, guys, because I didn't set up this before the live stream. So let's quickly check here. We've got Arweave on the right side, and let's go ahead and pull out Sui as the recent example, but I'll also show you another chart maybe with XLM or something like that, right? So USDT, here Sui, and you can clearly see that structure. Yeah, this was big here in 2023, okay, when it had recently launched. It had this huge drawdown, right, towards the downside, and then eventually it managed to break the trend here, as you can see. Let me just show, yeah, it hit the back test right there. Then from there it was just trying to go ahead and challenge the all-time high, right? So you come to Arweave on the left side, and you pretty much see the same thing, right? You've broken your resistance, and you're looking to backtest it, and you're looking to let go from here. So I'm very bullish on this one. I would definitely be targeting the previous high that we had back in March. That was right around $48, and you know that we have got a history, a great one for that matter, with Arweave, because we were buying it right here around $4, and we rode it all the way to $48 back in March. I still think that it's gonna do really, really well. I think it can even reach something like $300. A lot of people will be like, yeah, it's not gonna be able to do that. But if you think about it, the narrative of decentralized storage is going to be much more fueled with things like AI and stuff like that. Because, yeah, once you've created all those games, once you've done all those generative AI and stuff like that, you still need somewhere to store the data that you are dealing with. So things like ICP, with Filecoin, especially Filecoin, will make a huge comeback in this market that a lot of people will be surprised by. But in hindsight, it's going to be something that was very much obvious. So that's the same thing here with Arwif. I think it's just going to do well. The trade that we took earlier on with Patreon members, I think we're targeting something like, $48 basically. So that was just one chart I would have gone on. Maybe I should just do it right whilst you guys are writing something in the chat box so that we go ahead and take a look at those charts slowly but surely. XLM was another example. Or maybe I could have gone with Solana, right? It really doesn't matter, but I just wanted you to know that this structure that Arweave is having on the left side is not something that is new in this market. Yeah, you can also see it right here with this is Stellar Remains, for example, and pretty much it is the same drawdown that it was having before it started its bull run in 2021. So also, also see the break of trend right here. And then you have a backtest from there. I mean, you never see these lows again. So that's great. And I think that's something that is very much optimistic for Arweave. And considering that it hasn't moved along with the rest of the market, I love laggers because they give you, what the market's going to do almost in hindsight. Also, if you just come back, man, I'm spending a lot of time on this one. But I think, yeah, I should spend time on it because this is where the opportunity is. If you take a look at where the rest of the market is, the rest of the market, especially the total market cap, has just managed to go back to where the previous highs was in March. So Arweave is even lagging behind the total market cap of crypto. Can you imagine that? And this presents opportunity because you know what, everything is going to pump eventually, right? So take a look at this. You are actually forming here a nice cup and handle formation. Although it's the early stages, I think it's something that is going to be coming, right? I think I've done I've made a very strong argument here for Arweave, and I'm not convincing anybody to buy it or something like that, but I'm just showing you the kind of things that I'm seeing right there. So we'll see how that turns out to be, but let me get into the chat box and see what's going on right there. Before I continue into the chat box, let me also just show you that I think that the biggest opportunity in this market is in gaming. It hasn't really moved yet because most of the games are small caps and capital really hasn't started flowing into those small caps. But we had another trade maybe somewhere around in September and something like that, and it turned out to be just fantastic. You can see here that off of its bottom, Altered State Machine, which I think is just going to be one killer in this bull cycle, has managed to perform 491%. So that's great. Plays Up, I really haven't talked about it very much, but we have been talking a lot about the Root network, right? I think it's going to do just fine. Illuvium is going to do just fine. What was the other one? Yeah, Miria. I was posting it rather late in the Patreon again, and we were targeting something like a 47%. You can see that we have already exceeded that. We also had pretty much the same setup with what was that? Yeah, the Root network. Then right now I think Mavia is where the next biggest pump is going to be coming from, right? So I bought this one right around $1.43, and right now we're at $2.18. I mean, the best is yet to come, right there. Let me quickly jump into the chat box because I know that you guys have got a lot of burning questions. Let's quickly take a look at the first one. Okay, Aztec says, I'm ready to go. Yeah, we should be ready to go. We should definitely be ready to go. We've been waiting for this moment for a very long time, actually. And then says, new subscriber. Wow, thank you very much. I watched a few of your great videos. Thank you very much. I love that. Welcome, Jasmine ICP and Spell. Great buys. Let me take a look at Spell because we didn't take a look at Spell. I've already talked about Jasmine and ICP already. So let's quickly take a look at that Spell token. Where can we find the most data? Maybe we can find on Maxi, right? Because usually Maxi lists these things way before everybody else does. So let's see how that Spell token is looking. Okay. Yeah, short term. I would really have been much more grateful about your comment if we were right here, because this was a very obvious buy, breaking the mark of accumulation pattern. Nice back test. It's looking like it's gonna be pushing towards the upside. I also am trading one, chart that is almost looking like this one, at least in terms of the local work of accumulation pattern right there. And that is what was that chart? I think it was Ondo, right? So let me see how Ondo is looking and how it's comparing to your chart, and then I'll show you maybe what I think in terms of like the longer time frame perspective of the chart, right? So this is Ondo USDT. Yeah, exactly. So this was the chart that I was looking at. Ondo. What am I doing here? This is not the chart actually, but anyway, whatever the case may be, let me just show you what I think Ondo is going to do. And I think it applies also for that specific chart that you were just asking about. That was the spell token, right? So break the resistance of the work of accumulation, back test, just coil up a little bit more, and we're looking again to get those highs that we were having back in, okay, this was at least June, a little bit later than everything else. So spell token is looking good, and I think it can challenge here at least something like 0.00146. Yeah, for this is only like local. Long term, it's looking like it still has got some work to do, at least maybe to come back to the top of the range here of the work of accumulation pattern. But then of course, I mean, you really don't know if you're going to get a back test of that, or you are just going to be going straight depending on where the rest of the market is. But yeah, I've seen this setup time and again. It usually is something that is very much bullish, but would have to do more analysis on it later on in the future. Let's quickly take a look at another one. Pepper and Degens are listed. Pepper and Degen. Yeah, so Pepper, I think it has already gone, but it's one of those things that is gonna have a long, I mean, what do they call it, stay in power kind of a thing, because oh wow, look at this. I think this was from the live stream. We were anticipating exactly for it to, wow. Okay, this is where I get proud of myself, right? So I'm very sure that we were saying here that it would get at least to the 1.618 Fibonacci extension level, and for sure it did, as you can see right here. And that was nice. So we got two things right there. It got the 1.618 Fibonacci extension level, and obviously it held its support level right here. Yeah, so for now I think consolidation is something that makes total sense for Pepper. Let me just go ahead and check how big the market cap has gotten for this big thing, because even new people are coming into oh, what am I doing? Pepe, it's supposed to be right. Yeah, people have really embraced this. Number 21. Wow, with a total of 8 billion. If it doubles from here, we're looking at $16 billion. I would never say never for these things, man. I mean, Dogecoin is sitting at $60 billion right now. If this thing gets to maybe a third of that, we are looking at something like what, $20 billion. I think it can pump, but I don't think this is where the biggest returns are, though, to be honest with you. But I'm just saying that it's something that people have embraced really well, and I think it can just do okay in a bull cycle like this one. Let's see the next one here. How high do you think Jasmine is going? All right, let me see Jasmine. I think Jasmine, we have actually talked about Jasmine, but let me maybe explain myself using the chart, right? So this is Jasmine. I think immediate short term, Jasmine would go ahead and do something like 4.5 cents. Then from 4.5 cents, I think the next stop is 8 cents. Now, once we get into that territory, we are really kicking, right? 20 cents. Then from there, 32 cents. So this is the chart of Jasmine. We are at 2.6 cents right now, having this cup and handle formation, but that's not all the thing that we can get from there. I think from a retracement standpoint, I don't want to delete anything here, so just go ahead and grab my Fibonacci retracement 2 from that top of the structure, and I'll explain to you as this. If we look at these retracement levels, you see here that the next stop is probably right around 8 cents. Okay, then you're looking at something like 20 cents here, right around the 0.5 Fibonacci retracement level. As you begin to clear all those retracement levels, you eventually get to something like here, around 54 cents. This is not really the exact numbers, but I think that eventually something like 54 cents here is very much possible for Jasmine. We'll see how the retracement levels are going to be holding, as well as analyzing the market cap for Jasmine, because sometimes they show up very much different things altogether. We can get better clues from the market cap rather than the price itself. So yeah, let's get to 4.5 cents. From there, I think it's going to be quick to get to 8 cents. And then, yeah, this is when it's going to be much more like a fingernail biting moment for Jasmine to see how it's going to be performing heading into those bigger retracement levels. If it's able to clear those retracement levels, I'll definitely be very much comfortable of something like 54 cents here to show up, because I think most of these altcoins, they happen to like this 1.618 Fibonacci extension level, the golden ratio. All right, let's quickly take a look at another one. LCX is up bigly. Let's see that LCX chart. Is it called Lekity? What is it called? LCX chart. I know I have a friend of mine who keeps asking about it so much in the 1 minute. Did I get that correct? LCX, yeah, LCX USDT. It should be able to show up, but it's not showing up right now. Let me just confirm something. By the way, if I'm writing the ticker symbol wrong, can you please also? It should be, yeah. Okay, oh wow, it has gone up 50% today. Congratulations, man. Congratulations. Big congratulations to you. Okay, I'm trying to find the real name of this thing. I think it's called Lekity or something like the Lekity. I'm not really sure, but I think it's wow, that's really cool. For anybody who was holding this thing, all I can say for now is congratulations, right? So let's see here, LCX USC on Coinbase. Wow, look at that. This is really cool, man. This is why we are in. Oh, by the way, I was just showing you the R-Wave chart earlier on, right? It also looks exactly like this. So let's see what eventually happens with that chart as well. But this is so amazing. It's really amazing. What this chart just did here is that it just, said, you know what, we're going to be catching up with the rest of the market. Everybody has been going. We haven't been pumping bigly, and it's time to go. So it just decided to say in a few days, boom, 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 we're getting back to the highs that we were having in March. So what I would say right now is if I'm looking at a chart and I'm saying that it just has almost the same structure with everything else that has pumped, I'm really basically targeting the March highs that we were having. But there's also a risk of that, right? Maybe the chart lagging behind means that there is a lot of weakness behind it. So it's also a risk. But I think it's definitely better than buying, a top green candle like this one. If the chart is still way below here, I think it's just a better idea. Just the same way I was doing with R-Wave earlier on. So let's see how that R-Wave chart is doing. Let's see from Binance maybe. Yeah, it's doing really well right now, slowly but surely. But I expect some kind of an excessive move to show up eventually there, because it has to play catch up with the rest of the market, right? Like just getting back to 48, that's something like 133%. If it doesn't do that, it means that when the market dumps again, it's just likely going to be dumping again with the rest of the market. That's not too good, and we don't want to see anything like that. So let's quickly take a look at another one here. What about XCN coin? Yeah, you believe me, I've been taking a look at XCN for a very long time, right? Especially today, I've been looking at it and I'm like, you know what? I have to figure out something here. What really is happening with this chart? I know it has a strong community, and once I figure out like a thesis around it, I'm gonna be talking about it into oblivion, because I believe it's very much bullish, right? Because I've seen the fundamentals and stuff like that. But from a chart perspective, I'm looking at it again and I'm like, you know what, I really cannot understand this chart. I can only understand this part here, right? Let me quickly show you what I can understand about this chart. This whole thing, I can understand 100%. What I don't understand, let me quickly show you that, is this thing right here. I cannot understand what happened here. It looks like a fundamental project. Everything else is good, especially if you take it down like this one here. I'm trying to think throughout my whole experience in this market, have I seen a chart that has done this and recovered to grab that previous all-time high? For now, I cannot think about it. I'm still doing my research. As soon as I figure out something about a chart that is looking like this here, I'll definitely start making videos about XCN. But what I can say here is immediate short term. It's very much clear that it has been Wyckoff accumulating, and I have a friend of mine in the Patreon, and he keeps asking about XCN and Swiftcoin. I think they're great projects altogether. Fundamentally speaking, they're really, really good. I'll show you like the kind of backers we have the project. And this is a work of accumulation pattern, as I've just said, right? And again, with this project, just like the rest of them, I'm looking at the highs that we were having back in March. So let's see here, maybe we are looking at another something like 120% to show up, and it can happen fast because there isn't much. I mean, the market cap is not all that big. But when it comes to how really high it can go in the specific bull cycle, I haven't figured an answer for that just yet. I'm trying to figure out what's really happening with this chart here. I know maybe, of course, there have been dilutions and stuff like that, but whatever the case may be, everything, I mean, that I've seen every graph that I've seen do well or do bad, it's because I've seen something like that in the past. But I've been in the market ever since 2017, and you can trust me when I say that I've probably seen all sets up in this market, right? The ones that have names, the ones that don't have names, the ones that I've created for myself. But this one here on XCN, it's really a nail biter. I'm trying to figure it out even up until this point. So let me go ahead and show you the partners that it has, which I believe makes it very much bullish, because there is no other project in the market that has this. Maybe for the exception of I would say what was that, HBAR. Maybe HBAR has got, so number one here, tier one investor, you've got Pantera Capital, you've got Digital Currency, you've got Visa, damn, you've got Nasdaq Ventures. I mean, come on, this really is a project that is bagged to the teeth by big supporters. But market cap is also not that big. It's 62 million. So if this thing has to go maybe something like $6.2 billion, what are you looking at there? You're looking at 100x or something like that. But the big question that I have is this chart. So the moment I'm figuring this thing out, I'm coming to you and I'm telling you exactly what I expect this thing to do in the bull cycle, right? Immediate short term, I think it's very much obvious that just like the rest of the market, it has been Wyckoff accumulating. It has done its accumulation. It's looking to take out the highs that we were having in March. That was right around 0.043 or 44. So that's it with XCN. The next one that we want to take a look at right there is Linkston Exchange. Got in a 4 cents. Okay, Linkston Exchange, that's the name. Okay, Arcbrook ABT will do well. Love XCN, fantastic. Swiftcoin, Josh Bet is back with Swiftcoin. Okay, let's quickly take a look at Swiftcoin, another project that is fundamentally good. A lot of people like it. I don't own any right now, but I would wish to hold some. Maybe the guys in the Patreon will convince me to hold. Oh, look at this. Yeah, I also think that this one will do really well. As you can see, before the live stream, I have been looking to draw a trajectory and see how high it can go, right? So instead of looking at the chart, maybe let me look at the kind of market cap it has. We already know that it's fundamentally a very good project. You just don't make it to Coinbase for no reason. You have to be good, actually. So that is Swiftcoin, SWTSC. Okay, so we're number 840 right now, today up 6%. That is not too big for a small cap like this one, 37 million or $38 million in terms of its market cap. Almost everything is in circulation right now. To be honest with you, I think that this is a good project to hold in this bull cycle, because once you are clearing something like the highs that we were having in March, right around, this was what I'm gonna say, the dollar value, 0.009 dollars. I think you're pretty much in price discovery. Let me just make sure of that. Let me take a look at a different chart altogether. So that is Swiftcoin. Let's see here, Swiftcoin USDT on coin market cap here. Okay, let me just make sure about what I just said there of price discovery. Okay, that may actually not be true. Okay, Swiftcoin March 2021. Well, I may actually be right, because well, yeah, in terms of price discovery, maybe I'm wrong, but this is a resistance that we are looking to take. If you take away that resistance that we were having back in March, this chart is free. Honestly, this chart is free, and it can go way higher than 10 cents. Basically, it can go way higher than 10 cents, but from where it's sitting right now, how high is that gonna be? About a 17x. Yeah, you guys are tempting me to buy this thing, man. You guys are really tempting me to buy this thing. I think I think it's just a great chart from a chart perspective, and from the project itself, I think it's good. It's really good. I don't think it's a bad hold, honestly speaking. I don't think it's a bad hold. All right, let's quickly take a look at another one. This is what XCN entered the market at the wrong time in the middle of the bear. Yeah, I mean, projects enter the market at a bad time, but again, I've never seen a chart like that, right? I've also seen projects that have entered the market at a bad time and still managed to really do well. Some have fallen. For example, a lot of games that I'm investing in right now, they have done really terrible because they entered the market at the very worst period of time possible. So I'll see about that. I'll definitely come back and talk more about XCN. I think there is great interest about it. I personally am also just excited, and I'm very curious as to what it is all about, right? And the community is also great. Maybe not as big as the XRP community or the Jasmine community or something like that, but I think there is something to that. XCN, and okay, the first bull market for XCN 100%, just like ICP. Thoughts on ICP's next short time frame move? And Yellow, can you also take a look at Veracity? I will take a look at Veracity. I really love Veracity. Number one, because of how great the project is, and secondly, how great the community is. But before we get there, let me quickly show you here what ICP is looking like. Somebody asked about ICP immediate short term. If you've got any chart that you want us to take a look at, feel free to show me that chart in the comment section, and live chat I should be saying, right? Okay, I actually don't need this right now. Let's push it aside. Let's focus on the immediate short term here on ICP, Internet Computer Protocol. So for years, I'm saying for months, we have been screaming that we've got a resistance point between $10.5 as well as $11.5. Right now, ICP is trading above that. So I would expect ICP to continue again, preliminarily speaking, going ahead and taking out the $21 resistance. But I know that ICP likes to move slowly for one reason or the other. It doesn't like these boom, boom, boom moves. It likes to move slowly. And because of that, I think before we get to something like $21, I think that will probably store a little bit, right around $14, $15, come back to the $11 mark here and backtest that support. Resistance turning into support right now before we can attempt something like $21. So I don't necessarily believe that ICP will just start pumping and get to $21 in no time, just like what we are seeing with a lot of these altcoins. It just has different dynamics to everything else, and I don't know the reasons about that, but eventually I expect it to get to $21, but not without a backtest of this whole resistance here, turning it into a support level. So I think maybe that's the short term that I can show you right now. But on a daily time frame as well, as I mentioned earlier in the video that I made, we are now looking to get that golden cross that we had back here in November, right around this time. And that turned out to be great for ICP. So that's almost where we are right now. That's great confirmation of momentum for ICP. But as I said, I would love to be wrong, right? I would really love to be wrong. But I don't think ICP will just pump directly to $21. I think it has to store right around $15, $16, $14 thereabout, and then come back test your support nice and easy, and then you can find your way back towards the upside. I hope I'm very, very much clear about that. Let's quickly take a look at another one here. Oh, Veracity. Somebody was asking about Veracity. I talked about Veracity earlier in the live stream, and I think that obviously short term, the move could be stalling a little bit because we have gotten back to like a very important resistance, right? You can already see that this is the main resistance right around that 0.005 cents. There is just a lot of traffic that happens here with Veracity. So a pullback is something that I'm expecting. Is it something that is guaranteed? Definitely not. But what I think Veracity can do long term is to get back to something like 13.6 cents. I think I don't want to, you know what, maybe I can erase these things because these are trades that I've already taken, right, and they've already been realized, so we can already clear this thing, right? And we are seeing a very interesting work of accumulation pattern that has developed over the recent few years, right? I will show you that kind of a thing on a chart like Ethereum, for example. And let's go back. Is it Ethereum or ADA? Yeah, let's go with ADA first, and then we can even show you the Jasmine price set and stuff like that. So this is Cardano bake in. Ooh, let me show you that structure. Okay. So I want you to pay attention to this type of work of accumulation pattern that has been happening here. You have got a preliminary support, right? And then take a look at this double top that you have, like an M kind of formation that you have right in the middle. You click and then you have your spring and then you push towards the upside. So this is, you know, Cardano only, but I also want to show you here a good example of something like that too, which is Jasmine. Where is our old beloved friend Jasmine? Now with Jasmine, you see almost the same thing, but a different variation, right? In the sense that it doesn't set a new low here, just like what the Cardano structure was doing. But also I want you to pay attention to this, right? You have a preliminary support here, selling climax, and then you go on to have this double top here, double top, which is like an M kind of a thing, a creek, and then off and away you start pumping towards the upside, right? Now let me come back to that Veracity chart and you understand what I was trying to get to here. What do we see? Preliminary support. Although this is very much stretched, you see also the same thing here. Top, top, double top, looking like an M formation. You click and you found your bottom right there. You're looking to push towards the upside. And usually what you're looking from these structures is a 1.618 Fibonacci extension level. So from the very top to the bottom here, you are looking at that, you know, right now it's showing 14.5 cents or something like that. But I would say right around 13 cents is where I would see Veracity go long term. All right. Let me quickly see here. What have we got? Hello, can you do Veracity analysis? We did Veracity. I have 19 million XN. You have got a lot of that thing. Man, I thought I had a lot of X. Drew will be buying many houses after this bull run. Yeah, you should be buying a lot of houses after this bull run with 19 million of that thing. That's a lot. That's really a lot. How much do they even make in terms of like the USD value? That should be a lot of money. So I think our daily candle is closed here. That's why we are seeing that a lot of these things are in red right now. They're not necessarily in red, but it's because the new daily candle has opened. So probably it's going down a little bit, but nothing too crazy. All right, I think I'm getting a little bit tired and I should probably be sleeping right now. Thank you so much for joining the live stream. And I will see you in the next one, right? Stay safe. Don't over leverage. You know that at some point there is a flash crash that is going to be coming, and you know, understand that it doesn't say I'm coming, right? Bitcoin will just dump 10%. Our favorite altcoin will dump 20%, and that will actually be the end of a lot of people if you're over leverage. But I think it's just a much better idea that if you're going to be trading short term, you should be trading on spot rather than on leverage and something like that. Yeah, before we go, I just want to tell you that we are running a Black Friday campaign on the Patreon, and we've offered something like a 40% discount. Instead of $10 per month, we are now doing $6 per month. So feel free to check that. But I would say don't if you're using an iOS device, of course, do not join the Patreon via the Patreon application, and don't do an in-app purchase because Apple is putting a lot of taxes on that. That shouldn't be the case, and you're paying way much more than you're supposed to be paying. I think you're paying 3 times than you're supposed to be paying because as I said, we're only charging $10 per month, right? But because of the Black Friday thing, we're even doing $6 per month. But I think you pay 3 times if you join via the App Store and something like that. Just go ahead and register through the website. You don't necessarily need the application because we don't use it for anything. We only use it for payments. Then after that, you receive a Discord code. Once you get your Discord link, you'll be able to come in. You'll see all the notifications. We even send notifications via email and stuff like that. So that should be enough. I mean, the text thing, I really don't understand where it's coming from, but you know, it is what it is right now. So thank you so much for watching the live stream. I'll see you in the next one. Take good care of yourselves. Bye bye.